In this video, we'll cover a couple of the terminology that you'll hear within the videos. This just gives you an idea of what we're talking about when we discuss this moving forward. The rows and the columns of each of the Google Sheets or any spreadsheet applications are generally the same. By definition, the rows is the horizontal and the columns will run vertical. And each one is identified by a row number, and each one is also identified by a column. And the way this looks, if you appear this, here are the columns. Generally it's A through B. After Z, it'll restart on AB, AC, AD. The vertical lines of each of these are rows. So a lot of times you may hear it's in column A or row 3. Within each of these columns and rows are a cell. So by definition, a cell is the actual box that's within these rows and columns, and they are usually identified by identifying it as a row or column. So this one here that you see highlighted would be the cell identified as A1. This would be B3. Sounds a lot like bingo, and it is pretty much a grid. The next term that you might hear a lot of is a spreadsheet. And a spreadsheet is each sheet that's within the workbook. So you can have multiple sheets in a workbook. So a workbook is basically the whole document itself for Google Sheets. So if one would say it is in the John Doe workbook, that is the whole Google Sheets book itself. Or you might hear them say it is on sheet 2 within John Doe's workbook. So you can have multiple sheets within a workbook. You can have multiple cells within the rows and the columns.